What about Jesus? I'm a Christian pastor. I'm not a Jewish pastor. I am a true Jew. I am a child of Abraham, an heir of the promises made to Israel, but I am a Christian. Every sermon I preach should be a Christian sermon. If a Jewish person, a Muslim person, or a Hindu person likes my sermon, I did something wrong. Christ is to be exalted in this church all the time and not ambiguously. So the question I must ask, if I take this whole Old Testament and undertake to preach a series from it, is, can I do this with legitimacy as a Christian? I saw three ways that this psalm takes us to Jesus. I'm only going to give you one because the time is short. Number one, and only. The word righteousness in verse 6, the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. Only the righteous survive the judgment. The wicked don't. That's what it says. Only the righteous survive in the judgment. The wicked don't. Who is righteous? If I were a person reading this 3,000 years ago, I think I would be asking, is that me? How righteous do you have to be? I'd kind of be shaken. The righteous will stand in the judgment, not the wicked. To make matters worse, Psalm 14 says, they have all turned aside. Together they have become corrupt. There is none who does good, not even one. Paul quotes that in Romans 3. Psalm 130, verse 3 says, if you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? And I've got lots of them. You're going to mark them? He says, if you mark them, I'm gone. You're going to mark them? Or you close your eyes, you sweep them under the rug. What's my hope? Or Psalm 32, verse 2, blessed is the man against whom the Lord counts no iniquity. Doesn't count it. You don't mark it. And the question then is thrust on us. How can you not mark it? How can you not count it? And if you answer, well, we sacrifice bulls and goats. That's how we don't count it. My conscience would say, the blood of an animal for the soul of a man doesn't give me peace. I'm going to stand before an infinitely holy God whose standards are infinitely high. I'm going to give an account of my life. How? He was wounded for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. Isaiah 53:5. The goal of the Psalms, the instruction of the Lord, the Torah of the Lord, is Christ for righteousness to everyone who believes. They could see it dimly. A Redeemer was to come. Who would he be? When would he come? What would it be like? And he came. He came and did two massive things. And I'll stop with this. He made plain God marks iniquity. And God counts sin. and his Son bore the marking and he bore the counting for us. We have a substitute for our sin and our iniquity. And the second thing he did was fulfilled all righteousness, so that the perfect standards of God stand. And in Jesus Christ, I can be righteous before God and escape the judgment and not be like chaff. One last comment. This is important to notice in the Psalms, because in the middle of the night or any other time, when you are stretching out your roots into the water of the stream of the Word, it better include the gospel. What gave the Word life-giving power in the beginning was the gospel. We just read it in Galatians 3 today. The gospel was preached beforehand to Abraham. What gave the Word its life-giving power was the gospel. Today we know the cross. Oh, the glory of the cross. So as you are meditating using words of the Psalms, let them always take you to this stream which runs with the river, who is Christ. I am the living water. Make sure your roots always reach